Hello, everyone. Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training at fmtrain.tv, where we broadcast every day, 1 o'clock, Monday through Friday, and that's Pacific time, so whatever time zone you're in, you're going to have to adjust to that. Today, we're doing another broadcast day with Nick Hunter. That's Nick down there, hanging out, drinking his coffee, being ready. So we're picking up day 2 of a advanced reporting event from yesterday. We haven't had Nick challenges too much on the audio. If you do hear it, feel free to let him know. I'm gonna mute it on my end, and so if you hear it, let him know in Discord. But it's interesting because we did this short little trailer commercial because people like watching Nick. It's like a lot of material to watch Nick. So we made this little video for everyone. This is what happens. This is what it feels like to watch Nick when he's on a roll, teaching people about the FileMaker platform. Check this out.
How it feels to watch Nick from fmtraining.tv.
I heard this Nick guy is really informative. I can't wait to jump on the live stream. It looks like you're already on the live stream. That looks like a lot of information to take in.
So that means I can hard code a field, basic name in the source. Okay, I can do that.
That was a lot to take in.
Nick, explosively educational. Warning, may cause your brain to literally explode and you'll probably die.
So that's your official public service announcement regarding to Nick, for Nick. Real briefly, upcoming broadcast schedule. If all of you have a very fancy schmancy thing called a web browser, you can go to fmtraining.tv. And when you go to that website, you can click over on the live training tab right here and scroll down. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. So today is day 2 of advanced training. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are more beginner grade days. Today's a little bit more advanced. And then Monday, Tuesday next week, Nick is going to be going deep, long and hard and deep with dynamic table of contents with the FileMaker platform. So today's kind of the continuation of yesterday's conversation. Yesterday's conversation, as a quick recap, was about, from my perspective, understanding that really great advanced reports, you have to have this realization that it won't be a single layout. I think he spent most of his time yesterday articulating that if you have like a report with like a cover page and this section and another section, they're trying to build it on a single layout. It can be very difficult. Almost every one of us has tried that, or maybe we're still trying it. So the goal is for maybe you to think about how to save yourself time and effort making awesome reports with the FileMaker platform. But if the report, it's not just like a report, because like the word report is like, hey, I need transportation from point A to point B. The word transportation could mean a moped, a bicycle, a Ferrari, a semi-truck, an airliner. And so, or a boat or a plane or whatever, yeah. So the whole idea is that, Nick can explain it, but the idea is that reports mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and you can have different sections. So a single report with a sub-summary on it's one thing, but when you have different sections, then you really need to break those out on different layouts, right, Nick? Isn't that what you were explaining to us yesterday?
Yes, exactly. This is when you want to when you have many sections that comes with different entities. You know, like for example, you have you want accounts, and you want to display a list of contacts, and for each contact you want to display a list of invoices. You know what I mean? This kind of a cascading, kind of a multiple level of information, and you go back to, so we have the tendency of trying to do that with one layout, so you have a multiple sub-summary sorted by like this, and then you have at the end, you have a body that shows you the bottom of the food chain, so you have the top of the food chain, and then you have the bottom, like account, multiple contact, multiple invoices, and items in the invoices. So the item of the invoices will be the bottom of the food chain. So when you have a construction like this, and you want to do some kind of if you want to do like a super Excel kind of a display, okay, maybe you can do one layout, right? But when you want something like with more graphical, right? You want to organize better the layout, make something more beautiful and reorganize things. You need to split that in multiple layouts, right? So, but that's the downside of this. Okay, so for each thing we do, that's a downside. The the big advantage of building something like this. So let me show you again the layout here. Yeah. So yeah, what I was showing you yesterday is that the problem here is when you have multiple entities, right? You have problem to create a report that makes sense. So let me show you a little bit how it works, right? Again. So now we are going to check a little bit how it works. So here you can see we have the inspection section and stuff like that, right? So that's the thing we had yesterday, okay? So we have a front cover, so we have one layout for this, okay? And then we have the inspection that comes from the T21 anchor buoy. So what I want to show you is that we have multiple entities. So what we call entities is like multiple tables, right? So we have our one entity coming from the T21. Okay, so we have this from inspection, right? So we are here. So when we have a layout that lands here, that means we have access to all of those. Okay, so we've no problem. So you know what I mean? We have access to all of this. We have access to contact. We have access to photos, to repair item, to section, to site. We have access to all of this information. So when we go to the T22, which is it's the second level. If you know, inspection has sections. Okay, so we have two tables here, but we have two layouts we have one layout for the inspection and one layout for the inspection section. So when we are in the inspection section, we can have access to the inspection table by the inspection ID. So that means I have access to this guy from here, right? So that means I can jump here and I have access to all of those people directly. And then we go. So let's see where we go next. Okay, we go there, and then we go to the T25. We go to the T25. The T25 is another anchor buoy. It's a components. So we have what I was calling before the food chain. The top of the food chain is the T21 inspection. Each inspection has section, and each section has components. Okay, and for each component we have photos. For one a photo, you want to display one photo by row, two photo by row, or three photo by row. Okay, so here we have our report, and then you have the conclusion. You see, and the conclusion is back to the T22. So each time you want to print something, you jump to layout to layout. You go and what you need to do is to make sure that you are in the right font set. Okay, so the script is going to do that for us. Okay, the script is going to do that for us, but I don't want to check. I want to show you another what's the name? Another report that is here. Is simpler. So for the demonstration, it will be better. So here we have an inspection report. Okay, so what an inspection report? It's so we have an inspection. So the report of the inspection is kind of a little bit easier to understand for the demonstration, because the other one, the work order, has a lot of things inside. So for the demo, I want to stay a little bit in the easier side. So here yesterday we discovered that we can tell the layout how we want to display photos. If you want a lot of photos or if you want one photo big. Okay, so this depending on what you want to do here, right? So let's assume that the most common one is two photos, right? Okay, so two columns of photos. Okay, that's what we want, right? That's one column, 2 and 3. So let's say we want this one. We want to print this report, right? So I'm going to say, okay, continue here. And here what happens? So here we say, okay, well, I want to save this. And here, so you see I have this nice panel here that tells me exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, so you see what happened here. So I have this display that tells you what I'm doing here. Okay, so the advantage, and at the end I tell you, okay, successfully printed. So now I have this nice report. I have this nice report here printed. saved. So here we have the same thing that I showed you yesterday, right? So you have this, we have this, and we have the pictures, and we have the photos, and we have again the roof system, we have the photos, the drainage, we have the photos, so it's a dancing, it's a dancing because I'm going. So the script what's the script doing here? Okay, what's the script doing here?
You said the script is dancing. Is that what you said? This is
Yeah, the script is dancing because
dancing. Okay.
it's dancing. Yeah. So it's the script here is doing this. Okay. So let's keep this one. Okay. So yes. So you see what the report is there, and the big advantage of this is that I have this opportunity here to do this. Okay. So what those things, because the report is here. Okay. That's it. That's the report. Okay. But what are those? What I call cards like this, right? So what are those? They are pretty much layouts where I say, okay, start, saving from cover. Okay. So this is what the layout is. Okay. This one. And then I have this one. Saving inspection page. And then I have the name of the inspection with the date. Then I say saving inspection section and I have the section name. Saving the components. Saving the photo. Saving the conclusion. So I have those small cards like this, okay, which I display when I print the report. So that way, I can tell I have a response, a visual response. Remember, I'm an advocate of the visual response. I'll tell you something. One day, I tell this story many times because it's kind of funny. One day I had a customer. Okay, he said, Nick, this printing report is way too long. We need to short it out. I said, okay, I'll try to short it out. I knew it wasn't possible to short it out because, sometimes it's not possible to do that, right? And then I remember something I learned when I was doing my design stuff, right? And a guy said, if you give somebody something to watch, the time flies. Okay. That's why we love when you go to the doctor and there's a TV in the waiting room. It doesn't appear to be that long because you have something to do. You have a distraction, a diversion. Okay, diversion. So we need to apply the same technique here. Show the people something, give the people something to see, something to be distracted by. So, and that's why, at the beginning, it was kind of a nightmare to do that with FileMaker. And then finally, the card style window, happened on the FileMaker platform. And immediately, when I saw that in the pipe, when I was there at FileMaker, I saw the thing that coming up, the infamous card style window. I immediately I thought about using that as a display window, right? So pretty much he's doing this. So I save the report. And then I'm doing this saving, saving, saving photos, saving component, drainage, parameter, mechanical, see skylights, miscellaneous, leaks. Please wait, create successfully. Okay, the report takes exactly the same time, but if you have a spinning wheel, so that means you have nothing to watch to. It sounds like it appears to be like forever because it's super long. Okay, so this is the technique that I give you as a developer. Give something to see, and also it's really, really cool for you to debug something because sometimes you say, okay, hey, Nick, when I print the report, I get stuck on the leak, for example. I get stuck there. Oh, okay, maybe you have something wrong in the happening with some records, and the script stops. Because sometimes the script stops there. For X reason, because you didn't anticipate a problem, like no record, for example, or no picture, or something wrong happening, right? And then you get stuck there. Or what happened to me one day, a customer called me and said, okay, hey, Nick, I get stuck there, and I was running kind of a PSOS script, and the PSOS was creating records like by the millions every time the guy was trying to print the report because something wrong was in my script, but I knew where to look at. Right? So it's a really good manner of debugging. Right? I want to show you. So before I start talking about this, I was telling you that the downside of this. Okay, the downside is that you need to know a little bit about looping. looping in script. You need to know about that. Normally, you should be a state-of-the-art, looping guy, because I mentioned it multiple times. I'm using it multiple times. It's a great technique to use, the looping technique. But you need to know exactly what you do. But the advantage is, even if the script looks kind of a little bit complex, it is not actually. It is not, because there's nothing fancy. So let me show you. So this is a script. Okay. So there's absolutely nothing too funny, funky here. It's very cool. Okay. So first of all, you define you need to define which directory you want to save the report. So you see when I come here, the first thing I'm asking is where you want to save it. Okay. So I ask you where you want to save it. Okay. Always you do this. Don't automatically save anything with FileMaker without asking the user. That's why we have the get folder path. That was get directory before. They changed the name of this. It was get directory before, now it's get folder path. So you need to use this in order to get in a variable. So you can define a variable, right? You define a variable and say, okay, you have the dialog title. You can change the title of the dialog, and you have the default location if you want. I don't want the default location. I don't want a special dialog. Just I want this, and I want to get whatever returns from the get folder path. I want that to be stored in a variable that I have here. Okay. If you say cancel, so here how you do, because maybe you don't know that, but when you do this, okay. So let's debug. Okay, let's debug. Let's you do this. You say okay. You close the popover. Okay. Then you get this, and if you hit cancel, that means that's an error. User cancel action, error 1. If there's an error, just stop everything. Okay. So because you cancel it, so cancel mean bye. You cancel mean stop all. Okay. So if you cancel, you stop it. Then you define the path. So you have the directory. You get the directory. That means you get the name of the folder. You get the folder path. You get the folder path. Okay. So you get whatever the path is. This. So here, let me show you what you get here. That's interesting, by the way. Since we have some time. So what you do here, you do this. Okay. So you do this. So you say, okay, so what the directory returns here, So what the directory returns, it returns this. Macintosh HD user NHM, which is me, desktop, which is exactly where I ask the report to be saved. Okay. But this is not enough for FileMaker to save the report. Okay. So we need more. Okay. We need more. So we pass this, and then you set the path. So what is the path? So let's show it. Okay. I have the directory, and now I have the path. The path is whatever it needs to get a report to be saved. So to save something, you need FileMac, FileWin, depending on the machine you are in, / Macintosh. So whatever the directory gives you, the directory gives you this, the directory gives you this. You need to figure out this, the FileMac, add the Macintosh HD user NM, and then you add the name of the report you want. And then you need to add the extension of the format of the file. Okay. So here, how you build. I have for you a custom function that figure out file name, FileWin, FileMac automatically. That called the file prefix kind of custom function. So when you call the custom function here, and it's just a custom function like this, a file prefix, bam. There's not. It says FileMac. It return this. If I was on Windows, it will say FileWin. Okay. So you figure out this. It's very important to do that. Okay. It's very important to. It's encryption problems and stuff like that. It needs to be there still. It needs to be there still, and also it needs to be there to figure out the relative kind of relative path and stuff like that. So you need to do that. Okay, you need to have the file mix, FileWin, FileMac, but I have the custom function for you that does that for you automatically. Okay. So now that I have this, okay, this is information. This is an information that I have how many printing layout options. That means how many thumbnails, how many columns I need. This is for the photos. How many photos per columns I want? 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. Okay, this is what I need. Okay. So I have my path. That means I can save the report, and then I have the variable for the number of columns. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, then I said, okay, I am okay in this kind of inspection, right? So and I'm in this expansion here, and I want to go to the related records of the section. Okay, of this, I want to go to the to the all the records that I need from that from that inspection. Go to related records, all the related records to this inspection that I need. Okay, and here I'm going straight here. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to the report 1. So what is this layout here? What is this layout report 1, right? So I need to stop this. Okay, so what is this layout report 1? When I do this, I go straight to the card. So now I want to explain you this. Each card here belongs to a dedicated associated table entity. When I print this one here, I need to show this when I print the front cover. Okay, so here what happened. So when I open this layout here, I saving front cover. So this inspection card, this card here, this carousel window, the layout belongs to the same as the front cover. Okay, so that means I land here, I display the cover. Okay, I display the cover, but I don't print the cover. You understand what I mean? So, but FileMaker has the ability to do this. Okay, you need to understand that, very important. If I go to a layout, okay, and I say, okay, here's the font set I need. I go to a layout that belongs to a table. This layout belongs to the T21. Okay, I arrive in the layout. The first layout I have a font set. Let's say I have 10 records. Okay, I go there, go through that record in this particular layout, gives me 10 records. Okay, I have this font set. Now, if I have a script following this, and this following step is go to another layout and another layout and another layout that belongs to the same entity, to the same related table. If all the layout I go, okay, they will be all the layout I will go next to this one will display the same font set. This is very important to know. I land in the first layout with the go to record, and I have 10 records, and then I'm going to another layout. I print it. Another layout. I print it. Another layout. I print it. I will display always the same font set because I open a layout from the same entity. Okay, it's important to know that. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, so because otherwise you don't understand what's going on here. Because I'm going to land in this card that shows that display saving front cover, and then immediately after that I display this. I go to that one and I save this one, but I don't need to restate the font set because it's there, because I'm already there. In this layout belongs to the same entity. Okay, so let's go again and display again. Okay, so because this is very important to know. Okay, I'm pretty sure who didn't know about this in the audience. I don't know. It's very calm today.
The Moki said the whole generating report is done without PSOS on a local machine, is what Moki asked. Moki, you could generate the report either way. Okay, you could generate it on PSOS or you could generate it locally, right?
Yeah, who knew about this going to the next layout with the same font set stuff?
I
Who
did.
didn't know about this? Okay, Karen, I know you know that. But people who didn't know about this, because it's important to know for my next demonstration.
Well, they don't want to admit to not knowing, so they're just gonna.
No, you have to. That asked me to
All right, then you guys have to be honest. Be honest. Honesty
honest,
time. There we go. Let's go.
I didn't. Okay, some people didn't know. See, it's important because that's why I mentioned it. One of the best part of FileMaker is this. Yeah, didn't know. See, we have I think we have 50-50 here. We have a 50% no, so it's kind of so it was important I mention it because in the future everything will depend on this. And now that you have to admit you think twice now. You start thinking differently. Now I know why he wants to slice in multiple layout. Yeah, because sometimes you want to print things from the same table but differently, right? So you just go to the next layout and you print it, right? And you don't even need what you need to do is to figure out the first time, So here what we do. So I go through the real record. So let me show what happened here. So let me show. So I'm not showing I'm going to show this on the side here, and we have to assume we understand what's going on. So I go there, I display this, I freeze the window, okay, I freeze it, then I go, but okay, when you execute the script, it will freeze. Here, I won't freeze it because it will show the layout. Then I go to the front cover. You can recognize the front cover, okay? And then I save the front cover, okay? Then I go to another layout, which is the same. It's T21. It's T21. It's the same entity. So I just go to the layout. Bam. So now I go to another card. I go to another card, okay, the other card, this one, the number 2, that says, the number, still in the 2021, that says, okay, saving inspection page. Okay, so now I freeze this in the screen and I go to the inspection page, right? And I print it, save it, okay? Now, I'm here, I am in the inspection page, Now I want to go to the inspection sections. So I want to go to the T22. So remember what I told you? There's one inspection with multiple sections. I want to go to all the sections. Okay, so I want to go to all the related section to this inspection. So I'm using the link T21N that comes to the inspection table, that go to the inspection section table. So I'm going there, and I want to show this with the card number 3, because the card number 3 is on the inspection section, right? Card number 3. Okay, so I'm showing the card number 3, which says that says freeze window, right? Go to the inspect. So here I'm setting inspection section, okay? But I have multiple inspection section. Now I have multiple records. How many records do I have here? Let's see. I have get found count. I have one record. Okay, so it's okay. I have one record. Okay, so I go there. So now, yeah, this doesn't make it. It was for me for my debugging, so I need to remove it. So now I have a loop. Okay, so why I have a loop? Because technically, normally I have multiple. See, this is where it starts to be a little bit complicated, and I have to admit it. So that's why I tell you that's a downside. I have multiple sections, and each section has multiple photos. Okay, so you have one inspection has multiple section. One section have multiple components, and multiple components have multiple photos. Okay, so each time you need to use a loop to go to the first. You go to all the components of that section. you print all the components of that section inside the loop, right? And then you print, or if there's a, you save it. So here, this is very simple, by the way, because you can see the progression. You can see the progression. I'm showing all the components of that inspection. So I have in one inspection, that's one record. I have one inspection, one section. I have one section for that inspection. And then I go, so I save this. Then I go to all the components of that section, okay? So I have the component of that section. So if I go to the component of the section, you will see that I have more records now, okay? For that section, I have get found count. I have 13 components. I have 13 components. So here what I'm doing, okay? I am going to the layouts where I want to save. I have all the components here, okay? I have the 13 components, okay? So I have a layout where I'm displaying all the components, and the first, I'm in the first one, okay? And here what I have the loop, and you understand what the loop is going to do. I am in this inspection here, right? I'm in this component, I'm in this component overview, and I want to print it. So I have the loop, right? That will repeat itself from and go to the next record, next record, next record, next record. It will print so for each record here, I will do this. I'm saving the components. I go to the layout, that save the components, okay? That the overview layout, that the component layout, okay? Then I say, okay, is there photo there? Is there photo? Yes, there's photos. If there's photo, I have another loop coming, and then I will save the photo inside, okay? I'll save the photo. So this is what it's going to do. So I'm going this, okay? I set the component ID because I need this name to be displayed somewhere. I need the title to be displayed in my what's the name? In my call. So I save here the title of the component. I save the record, and then I set a variable here because I need for something, and I have a P source that generate the inspection report for the for the pictures. I'm not explaining how I'm doing the picture right now because this is part of the FM gallery course that we're going to do into next month. Right? I don't know when that's a schedule. I need to talk to Marge about this, but I'm going to explain how I'm generating multiple column pictures. Okay, so that's why it's a P source. Forget about this one for now because I'm going to explain that later. But I want to explain you that here there's nothing very complicated. By the way, if you look closely, there's nothing complicated because just you need to follow the logic. You have 13 components. Each component have multiple. You have 13 components. A section. Each section have multiple components. Right. So you need to go on each record and print them in a loop, right? And then you go, so when you print everything, so you go to the photos, you print the photos, right? And then each time you save what's the name? Each time you save the record as PDF. See, each time you save the record as PDF. So you go somewhere, you save it, and then you go somewhere else, you save it. And then you come back to the first, you go to the next record, and you do exactly the same thing. So is that exactly what I'm doing here? See? So I'm going there, and then go to the next record, and then I'll go back. Okay. So this is a matter of training. Okay. This is a matter of training. Okay. When I say training is, you need to start building something. You need to start building something easy, okay, and not too complicated with 2 levels or 3 levels, let's say, okay, and then you can build your own kind of scripts, okay. Here, the difficulty is to maintain the loop consistency, okay. Unfortunately, I don't have an example that is simple. Okay, I mean very, very simple. Unfortunately, because those kind of layout, those kind of report, they are by definition a little bit complex. But here, what I want to tell you here, okay, is that what did we do here? What are we doing here? Okay. Instead of having, let me see if I have a closed window here. Always have a closed window script somewhere. Okay. So what did we do here? Okay. We transfer the complexity of this. Let me show you. We transfer the complexity of this. Okay, the complexity of this with parts and with layout, with part setup and stuff like that. All of this, we transfer all this complexity with a subsummary sorted by the body and stuff like that. All this super duper complexity with crazy links, crazy relationship like this. Okay, and we transfer this super complexity where it's impossible to know what happened here, right? We transfer this into a script. Why we do that? So why we want to do this is because when you transfer this to a script, so let me see the script here. Let me display the script to you. We have the ability to understand what's going on, and we have the ability to manage. We have the ability to debug. Okay. Because here, and I'm explaining what happened here, So we have the ability to stop it. We have the ability to put some breakage here. We can stop this. We can stop it to have kind of you have the ability to debug it and to understand what's going on, and you have the ability to modify it very easily. Because you can just say, oh, go to another layout, or you can add a new section, right? So yeah. So yes. Yeah, the pose. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me explain what the pose is. Okay, FileMaker, to make the thing faster, okay, they decided that they have a kind of a stop and go system. Okay, if what you want to display doesn't stay displayed on the layout more than, I don't know, it's 1.45 seconds or something like that. I don't remember exactly the number of millisecond that it stays on the screen. If what you want to display doesn't stay on the screen more than that time, FileMaker doesn't even try to display it. FileMaker will try to display something after a certain time. Okay. So otherwise, if I don't put the pause here, I will never ever see whatever is displayed on the card. On the little card, right? I need the pause like a 0.1 second, which is nothing, right? If you do, simply display in this case is going to new card to show the next message before the freezing. Yes, doing the pause, just make sure it stops. It's just make sure it displays. By the way, otherwise you see nothing. Let's do the thing without the pause. By the way. Without the pause. So let me, even the popover, see the popover here? I remove this. Okay, so I remove this. Here what happened. So I save it. Oh, he's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it because I have the freeze window. But sometimes it happened that it doesn't do exactly what I want to do. Yeah, it's because I have the freeze window. Yeah. So it's not necessary to have this when you have the freeze window. But it's okay. It's to make sure it displays. You need the pause to make sure it displays. You need this. Or I don't even know if maybe I didn't save it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you put the pause. Put the pause. Put the pause to make sure. It's because it depends how you build it. Sometimes it displays, sometimes it doesn't. So we need to make sure. It's because I have the freeze window just behind it. It's because I have this just behind it. So if I don't do this, it will not display. But anyway, you got the point here. It's a good trick. Yes, it's a good trick to do that. If you want to make sure it displays the card, you need a pause. Don't do the refresh. What I want to explain here. The refresh doesn't help. The refresh window refresh window doesn't work. You know, it won't help. You know, it won't help at all. You know, it won't help at all. So don't do that. Don't do the refresh window. Okay. So here what we did, so I want to continue. What we did here, we transferred the complexity of one layout with multiple parts and stuff like that and crazy relationship. And then we just go to layout, go to layout, go to layout, go to layout. Okay, go to layout, save, go to layout, save, you know. And here we have a loop that says, okay, select those 13 records, okay? Go to the first one, and from the first one, go to the related record of the first one, print everything, and then go back, go to the next record, print everything, go back, go to the next record, print everything, go back, and when you arrive to the last one, stop the loop, right? Go to the you know, see what I mean? Go to the next record, next, exit loop when on, you know, when exit after last. So that means because I go to the next record, to the next record, to the next. So pretty much I'm repeating the sub-summary sorted by with this system here. Go to print next, go to next record, go to next record, print, go to next record, print, go to the next record, print. And then you say, oh, by the way, exit loop when last, okay? So, and then when you exit loop when last, make sure you go back to the last level, right? It's just a question of imagining the hierarchy in your head like this, you know, like I was saying before. You have an account, multiple contacts, each contact, multiple invoices, each invoice is multiple items. And so you go to the contact, you go to the account, okay? One account, go. So you have, let's say you have 10 contacts, you select 10 contacts, you go to the first one. From the first one, you go to all the invoices. Let's say you have 2 invoices, you go to the first one. And then you go to the next. Each time you go to the next, and then you go back to the, you know. So it's a matter of imagining the kind of a hierarchy like this, right? And then you have just a go back. It's very, there's absolutely nothing complicated here, okay? Absolutely nothing complicated here. Go to the record, go to layouts, save. Now, I want to tell you something about before we go, we have 5 minutes. Before we go, I want to show you the save record append. Okay. So what does save record PDF and append? What append means? Okay. What appends mean? You know, when you hear and you say append, you know, append this one. Okay. Or this one is append. Okay. You need the first save. We are going to save multiple times. We have going to save multiple layouts, and we want to combine them in one PDF. Okay, one PDF. Okay. So when you do this, what you need to do is simple. You need to save. We are going to save multiple times the same name, we are going to save at the same location with the same file name multiple times. That's why I'm defining my path at the very beginning. We are going to use this path all along to save to path, save to path, we are going to save to the same thing all the time. So you will say, oh yeah, if we do that, we are going to replace the file each time, and we are going to lose the one we saved just before. Okay, yes and no, because FileMaker has this ability of appending. So what it's doing? First, this is the very first time I'm saving in my report. This is the front cover. Okay, front cover. See, I'm saving the front cover. So it's the very first page of the layout of the report. So this one doesn't have append. I don't want to append because I want to replace. If I want to create a new, I want to create a new kind of report. I want to create a new report, right? And if one with the same name exists, it will replace it. Okay. So I want to save a new. I'm generating a new report. So here I don't have append to existing PDF. I don't want that because it's the very first. Now you have this, all the save as, all of them, save as here, and save as here, and all the save as, you know, and the save as, this is the conclusion, those are the pictures, all the, all the thing here, they all save. So they're all those, not the first one, not this one, the first one, no, but all of them, they have this checked, append. That means they won't replace the content of the first, they will add the content to the first one that's been created. This one creates it, okay? This one creates it, and then I have save, records, append. So you add. So that you're going to build. So if we look at this, okay, and if we look at the, let me open this and open this. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. Okay. Then it's cleaner. Okay. I'm showing you this, okay? And I'm going to generate the report. I'm generating the report. Okay. Generate the report. So let me put that on another screen. I generate the report I'm generating the report in the desktop, okay? So here what happened. See, 0 byte, 251, 12, 19, 3, 3.3. See, it's building up the report. See, 5.5, 6.6. Okay, this is the end. You see what happened? So it was kind of cool to see. It was building the report, and it was adding, right? So that's what it was doing, It's like, PDF equal PDF and PDF and PDF and PDF and PDF. So you append the PDF. That's what you do, right? So it's kind of cool, okay? It's kind of cool.
That's pretty neat, Nick. Other questions about this from folks? And no, you can't have the sample file. Sorry. Although probably.
No, okay. Here's the catch. Okay, here's my idea. So far, I was explaining about how it works. I'm going to demonstrate this, building something very cool. Okay, we are going to.
When are we doing this? When are we doing this?
We are going to build something cool. Let me show you what we are going to do. We are going to build this. Okay, so we are going to build a table of content. I will have a sample file for that. Okay, so I will have a sample file for that. It will be a subtract of an existing file. So you will have to forgive if I have a lot of junk in the file. Okay, I will try to strip out everything that you don't need, but unfortunately, I won't be able to strip everything out because everything. When you have this level of complexity, unfortunately, you have related things like crazy. So I'm going to keep kind of I'm going to remove the layouts. I'm going to remove the value list. But unfortunately, the schema will remain.
Okay.
But anyway, it's not the schema you need to look at. In that you will in that kind of a table of content kind of course. You will need to. Yeah, go ahead.
That's for Monday. Is that Monday? What you're saying?
Yeah, that it's next week, right?
Yeah, next week, Monday next week.
Yeah. Okay. So I will have kind of a subtract of this. Okay. Not this layout here. So I will have this. So because this one, to have table of contents, that means we need to know which page this is going and which page this is going. So all of these numbers are dynamic. They change depending on the layout, right? Depending on what kind of data. If you have two pictures, for example, this will be page 16. But if you have 10 pictures, this will be page 21.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay, because you need to print the picture, right? so it's dynamic. So we're going to explain how we can calculate the number of pages, right? So So we are going to do that. So I will have a sample file, and I'm using, and to have this, by the way, to have a table of content, you cannot have a table of content if you have one layout report. It's not
Correct.
possible. It's impossible.
Yeah, you have to have multiple layouts.
Don't even try. It's impossible. You need each of those is a layout.
Yep.
That's why I can do that. So you see, in each technique you're going to use in FileMaker, in whatever, in Xcode or whatever you want to use, you have the same problem. You have a downside, okay? You have benefits and inconvenience, okay? The inconvenience is if you're not very comfortable with scripts, you need to improve yourself on scripts. But you don't need to. You don't have complex layouts anymore, okay? You don't have abstract complexity that you can't handle. A layout like this, layout like I showed before, with all those sub-summaries and crazy relationship, you don't master it. You don't hold it. You cannot. You don't have control on this. It's like a wild kind of horse, and you can't control it. Okay. When you transfer everything on scripts, yes, it will be kind of painful a little bit at the beginning because it's a new technique and you're not aware about it. But you have the possibility to handle it, right? And that's the beauty. And by the way, here in this report, for example, it was kind of 5 topics at the beginning, and I keep asking this, and they keep asking me, we want this, we want this, we want this. So we added section, and it was super easy to add section because it's sliced in multiple parts. Just I need to put the section in the middle in my script, and boom, I have my report. That's it, right? It's very simple, right?
Very, very, very cool. All right. So, other questions from anyone? There was one question that let's see. Michael Gravel had a question. Why pause for 0.1 seconds? That's for a screen refresh, right, Nick, or a refresh of your card style window or whatever you were doing?
Yes. I'm using this trick. Okay. Sometimes I need it. Sometimes I don't. So I put it because sometimes it displays because I have a freeze window. So the freeze window helps me to, when you put a freeze window, of course, it is by definition showing you something. You freeze it, right? So, but I still put it. I still put it because, but it doesn't change anything. We are talking about a tenth of a second. Is something you can't even measure. Okay, so it helps a lot. It helps a lot. It's each time you want to display something like this, like a card like this, you have a little card like this, you need a pause. And like for example, if you want to dismiss a popover, for example, you want to dismiss a popover and you have a script running just after this, you need a pause, otherwise you won't see the popover dismissing.
Okay.
Okay, so the pause is very useful for all of those displaying things. When you have something that should display and doesn't, put a pause.
Okay.
Tenth of a second.
I am going to cut everyone loose at this point. Tomorrow we're going to pick up the conversation. Still see you at 1 o'clock. Nick is talking. Nick, you have anything else? You good?
I'm good. Good to go.
Okay. All right. Have a good one, folks. I'll catch you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific time. See ya.
Bye-bye.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but then he makes the grab.